Welcome back, my friends, to this week's video. Today's video is going to be another addition into our battle of the makeup products, high-end versus drugstore. And for today's video, I wanted to battle out a product that I've had for a while and I've been meaning to film this video for quite some time. I think we've got a pretty good dupe for a specific higher end cream blush. And so the products we're going to be talking about today is the Tower28 Beach Please Cheek and Lip Tint, or their cream blush, versus the Moira Cosmetics Loveheat cream blushes. Both of these products have been out for quite some time. I want to say Moira Cosmetics came out with their cream blushes sometime last year, maybe summertime, and Tower28, these have also been around for a while. I think they recently added a couple more newer shades to their line. So let's talk about a little bit of the details of each one of these cream blushes, starting off with the Tower28. So Tower28 Beauty and the product is vegan and cruelty free. The formula is silicone free as well, and some of the key ingredients or spotlight ingredients, I'm gonna say, is green tea extract and aloe vera. I have the shade Magic Hour, which is a sun-kissed rosy nude shade. And I'll open that up to give you guys an idea of what that looks like. It retails for $20. I don't remember if I mentioned that. And the Moira Cosmetics product is also vegan and cruelty free. It retails for $8.50. And some of their spotlight ingredients are vitamin E and rosehip oil. So both have some really nice skincare ingredients to them. With the Moira Cosmetics, I have a couple shades actually. The shade that we're going to be focusing on today that I feel like is the closest to the Tower28 is shade 1, I Respect You. Let me open that up for you guys so you can take a look. I also have a couple more shades of the Moira Cosmetics. I have shade number 3, I Want You, which is a more orangey terracotta. And then I have this bright pink shade, shade number 6, I Miss You. I don't think I've even used this one yet. I think I may have swatched it. So there you have the 3 shades. The net weight on the Moira Cosmetics one is 2.7 grams versus the Tower28, you got 4.5 grams. So you do get more product in the Tower28, almost double the product in the Moira Cosmetics. So since I've got multiple shades of the Moira Cosmetics, let me go ahead and swatch some of them for you. When using my cream blushes like this, I like to go in with a spatula and kind of scrape some off so I don't get, you know, dust and residue from my brush in there. So I'm going to start off with the shade 6. So you've got this bright pink. Hope you guys can see that. I didn't pick a really good place to swatch. Okay, I'm going to swatch the shade number 3, I Want You, which is more of that orangey terracotta shade. Okay, there we go, right above. I feel like that shade would look beautiful on deeper skin tones. And then the last shade is going to be the one that we're going to be applying today, is number 1, I Respect You. Okay, so there we have the 3 Moira Cosmetics shades. While we're at it, let me go ahead and just swatch the Tower28 so you can get a comparison. Okay, so the Tower28 is the shade Higher Up. You can definitely see, at least I can in my mirror, a bit of a difference between the Tower28 and the Moira. So they're not exact dupes for the shade necessarily, but they are pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and get into the demo portion of this video. I went ahead and applied the Tower28 on one side and the Moira Cosmetics on the other side, and I'm going to walk you through what side that is, and we'll come back at the end with my final thoughts. So let's roll on in. I went ahead and applied my foundation. I have some cream bronzer on and did some concealer just so I don't look scary. I haven't set my concealer, so it's still wet or tacky, and I'm not setting because we are going to apply the cream blushes. You do want to I would recommend that if you are going to be using a cream blush, you apply it before you set your under eyes, depending on how high up you take that blush, just so it doesn't do anything weird with the powder. What I'll do is sometimes I'll do my cream blush first and then my concealer and kind of mesh them into each other, or my concealer and then my blush, and then lastly I will set my under eyes. So today we did the concealer, and now we're gonna go into the cream blush. So I'm gonna start off with the Tower 28, and this is the shade Magic Hour. With my cream blushes, I like to take a spatula and kind of scrape some out onto the back of my hand and apply from there versus just dipping my brush in, because our brushes can collect dust, and depending on how often you're washing them, you just don't want that bacteria getting back into your product. So that's just me. So I take this on the back of my hand and kind of spread it out evenly. Again, this is the Tower 28 shade in Magic Hour. And I'm gonna take a Real Techniques 449 brush. This is their tapered cheek blush. Sorry, their tapered cheek brush. And I'm just going to pick some of that up. You can see it there, and gently press it into wherever I like my blush. So there you can see the shade. I think I might have picked up a little too much for just the one side. For a minute there, I forgot that we're doing the Moira on the other side. You can see how it's giving me a nice flush of color. It's melting and blending into my other products really well. It's not lifting, it's not clinging to texture. So there we have the Tower 28 shade. Now I'm going to go into the Moira Cosmetics shade, and this is, again, their Loveheat Cream Blush in the shade number 1, Respect You. And out of the ones that I have, this is the one that's probably the closest to the Tower 28. And I'm going to do the same thing. I cleaned off my spatula here, and I'm going to pick up some, whoop, I think I did too much. Okay, we've got some on the spatula. Gonna spread it on the back of my hand here. And I don't know if you guys can see the difference between the two shades. So here's Tower 28 and here's the Moira. The Tower 28 has more of a pinky mauve tone. This one's a little more pinky, like corally tone. So I'm going to switch to a different brush. This is also from Real Techniques. This is their 405 brush, and this is their Instapop cheek brush. It's a bit more tapered. And same thing, I'm just going to pick up some on the brush and then go in on this side. I think I picked up right about the same amount, and I feel like the Tower 28 was giving me just a little bit more pigment on that first application than the Moira Cosmetics one is right now. Okay, here we go. So we have the Moira Cosmetics on this side. I feel like, I think I may have brought this one down a little bit too much. I feel like you can't really tell the difference in the shade. If you really look at it, then yeah, I think you could see a little bit more of the mauve undertone on the Tower 28 side versus the Moira, but I think once we set it with powder and everything, I don't think you're gonna be able to tell the difference. The Moira Cosmetics, I feel like, is giving me a little less, what's the word I'm looking for? Not luminosity, but I guess a little less hydrated than the Tower 28. Not that it looks matte or anything like that. Same, it blended in well with my foundation, with the cream bronzer that I had, and even with the concealer. Again, my concealer has not been set. You can definitely see the difference in the amount of product that I use. I pretty much used up all of what I picked up from the Moira versus the Tower 28. I still have quite a bit on there. Then again, I think I picked up too much of the Tower 28. So take that into account. So this kind of gives you guys an idea of what they're looking like. Comment below what it looks like to you at this point in time. Can you tell a difference between the two? If so, what is it? Or does it look the same to you? Because to me, you know, my mirror here, it's looking pretty darn close. So again, we've got the Tower 28 on this side, our high-end side, and we've got the Moira Cosmetics on this side, the drugstore side. I'm gonna go finish up the rest of my makeup and then we'll come back to see what this looks like. And I'm back with a quick look. I just did a quick eye look, quick and easy eye look using my Urban Decay Naked Mini Foxy palette. I got a little carried away with the mascara, so we're just waiting on a few of those flakes to dry so I can scratch them off. So here we have both sides of the cream foundation. Again, Tower 28 on this side, Moira Cosmetics on this side, and the only thing that I did differently with my makeup today is I didn't go over it with a powder blush. Usually I'll go in with my cream products, set my face, and then go back over it with my powder products, but I didn't today because I wanted you guys to see what it looked like without that extra step in case you prefer to just do the cream blush and skip the powder. You get an idea. So it definitely gave me pigment. It's more of a subtle blush look in my opinion. If you like something more poppy or something more prominent, then I would say apply more of the cream blush. I don't really feel like you can tell a difference in terms of the shades anymore. I think both of them ended up looking mauvey. I did add powder bronzer just in this areas. I didn't go crazy with it, but overall, they look pretty similar to me. I'm just noticing that I didn't apply highlight, which I forgot to do. I usually do that. And just to take it a step further, let's go ahead and see how powder blush layers on top of these. So I'm going to be using this blush from Revlon. This is the shade 28 Apricot. Apricot, actually. So I'm going to take mauvey pink shade. I think it goes well with the Tower 28, and I'm taking it on a fluffy Morphe E53, and I'm just going to do 2 taps in there. And with my blush, I just kind of tap over where I have the cream blush. So there you see, we got some more pigment. For setting powder, I used my Charlotte Tilbury. And for setting under my eyes, setting my concealer, I used my Laura Mercier. Again, all products that I normally use. And this Revlon blush does have a little bit of sheen, so the fact that I didn't do highlighter, I think will be fine. Let's just add a little bit to the bridge of the nose. There we go. Okay, so now you get an idea of what that looks like with a powder blush on top. In the application process of the rest of my products, I had no issues whatsoever. These are both cream blushes that I've had for a while, that I've rotated and used multiple times. And so both, in my opinion, are really great options. I think they're pretty comparable in terms of application. I'm sure I could probably find a shade in the Moira Cosmetics that's a bit closer to the Tower 28 shade. I think Moira Cosmetics has more of these cream blush shades. I want to say Moira Cosmetics has maybe 10, and I think Tower 28 of these tints has around 8 or so. I could be wrong, but I'll put that somewhere here on the screen so you guys have the accurate information. And there we have it. We have the battling out of these 2 cream blushes, Tower 28 on this side, Moira Cosmetic on this side. I'm going to say, in terms of battling and who won for this video, I want to say these tied, at least in my opinion, in terms of application, in terms of how it's wearing and how it does wear throughout the day. So I would say the Moira is a pretty spot on dupe for the Tower 28. The Tower 28 product retails for $20. Like I said, I think they have around 8 shades, and I think they have a couple new ones. The Moira Cosmetics goes for $8.50 and is available on their website. So you've got quite the price difference. The Moira Cosmetics is, you know, less than half of what Tower 28 cost. Depending on your budget, you have different options. And while we're on the topic of Tower 28, I just remembered I didn't even apply a lip. So I'm just going to use this gloss from Tower 28 in the shade Pistachio. which I also really love all of their lip glosses. So if you haven't tried those out, shout out to Tower28's lip glosses. And that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for joining me for this video, another addition into our battle of high-end versus drugstore products. Today's battle, they tied. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way this all turned out. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Layla. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you subscribe before you leave. And for all my returning viewers and subscribers, welcome back. Happy to see your faces again. Make sure you are also subscribed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.